Hello, buddy. My name is MrBonesy, and welcome to Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Now, in the last episode, we finished off Chapter 2. I would have started this video with, like, doing all the endings or the bad game overs for Chapter 2. But, my god, unless there's, like, an actual alternative split in the road, I don't want to have to play through the entirety of the chapter just to... It's a little worse, I would say. The original Corpse Party, I could actually just run around and speedrun. This, I just have to spam click and then choose the right options and then spam click. I know I could make saves each choice. And then I have to find a guide, because I don't remember which endings I've got and which ones I didn't got. And I couldn't find the guide anymore for, like, all the bad endings. And I just don't want to go through the hassle. It's annoying. To be honest. So we're just going to do the new chapter. The new chapter encounter. Apparently, this one's all reading. So, maybe we could finish this off in one video or something, as long as it's not long. Let's see. Tension 5. Is that 23? Or is that a 33? Mr. Yazamziki handwriting is atrocious. I hope once again, butchering names if you're first time here. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Miss Yamizaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yoon, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. You know what's funny is that, like... And I'm not sure if this is just, like, video games and, like, just Japan's, like, manga and stuff like this. Because I've never seen anything else other than, like, Japanese manga and anime when it's about school. It's something about, like, the teacher being chill enough that you just go to her house and be like, "Yo, miss, here's your notes." Or, like, "Here, I deliver it for you." Like, for me... The only time you see your teachers outside of school is like if you go to like a store or a gas station or something, you're getting something, you're like, "Oh my god, what the hell are you doing here? Bye." And that's it. You don't have any interaction with them. You're just kind of like awkward. You're like, "Oh, this is my parents, yes." I still feel that way. It's like, even with coworkers, I'll be in the store and I'll be like, "Hey, what the hell? What are you doing?" Oh, I'm just gonna purchase this stuff and leave. Nothing against you. It's just kind of awkward. Usually we're on a work setting, so we're not in a work setting. It's like, oh. I don't know. We're not there yet. I know how disappointed she'll be if I'm missing our shopping date. Tension 523, number 11. Found it. As long as this doesn't actually read 633 and number 77 anywhere. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories and tall, and it looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it practically stylish or click. It was completely unremarkable structure in any way. Apartment 207, or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with these handwriting, and from a teacher no less. And in any case, it seems certain that the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow, steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Maybe some people just don't have money, Satoshi. Are teachers' salaries really that low? Exactly, and they should be a lot higher, especially since they're teaching new generations of people in the world. Then again, teachers are so assholes sometimes. Like, I feel like if you have to be a teacher, there has to be some program to get set into. It shouldn't be a job. It's annoying how you could have a teacher that just doesn't like being a teacher and they're an asshole. And like they're not only they're that way, but it's a horrible learning experience. So you don't actually leave that class learning anything. I'm not saying I like school. I'm gonna be honest, I hate school, and you barely use that information anyways. But at least if I'm gonna have to go to a place at my early growing up years and I have to learn all this stuff, at least have the teachers care about it, so they can make me slightly give a fuck about it. Like, goddamn. And then, yeah, you do use that stuff for certain jobs if you're going for them, especially in college. But my career path didn't need that. I don't even have a crazy career path. I just work at a job, and I'm just like, I live. Feel a little sorry for her, but in the way this place kind of fits her personality. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention towards apartment 201. Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yoon's place. The door plate for the rooms nearest the staircase had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. Guess that means we tried door number 2. Passing room 202, I continued down the narrow walkway towards the end. Wandering alone around the apartment building I've never been before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back was still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspapers. And then finally, I arrived at the last door. Bingo! There it was. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate of apartment 207 read, Shishiru. For an adult's handwriting, especially the letters, was rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yoon's place, alright. What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate. Beware of cat? Shouldn't that be beware of dog? Haha, that's Miss Yoon for you. So that's how exactly how exactly does one beware of a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? And at any rate, I'd confirm beyond a shadow of the doubt that this was Miss Yoon's place. So my errand was nearing its end. What was Miss Yamazaki thinking anyways? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. Okay, at least that's not crazy. He said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read these? Yeah, but if he'd picked you, it probably means he trusted you and that you're a good kid. I don't think he would have just been like, got to the back of the class not listening. He's like, you deliver these. My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I became acutely aware of the inherent value of these notes I held in my bag. But as tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Miss Yamazaki put his faith in me, after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited and waited and waited some more, but there was no answer. I did ring it, didn't I? Miss Yoon? This is giving me bad memories, dude. I have so horrible experiences of like going to people's places in apartments, I guess, where I'm like ringing the doorbell, knocking, and then like I'm just like, am I at the right place? Especially for a friend's birthday party. I went over, knocked on their, like I didn't knock on their door because they had like those kind of doors where one's metal and one's wood, and I didn't want to like bang on metal. So I was like, I'll just ring the doorbell, and I rang the doorbell, and I sat out there, and I'm just sitting there like awkwardly, and I'm just like, and I just ring the doorbell again, and I'm just like, I just sat out there for a long time because apparently the doorbell wasn't working. Oh man, my biggest blunder in my entire life. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she was sleeping. I didn't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we heard that Miss Yoon was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'll be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everybody at school know that she was feeling better. Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her, though. Miss Yoon! Miss Yoon! Nothing, huh? Sigh. I like the other chapters I'm playing as a girl or something. I'm like, oh my god! But when I go into thoughts, I read my normal voice. But Satoshi is my normal voice, so I'm just reading. So even my brain actually can't tell if I'm actually like the character saying this out loud or if it's just a thought. Miss Yoon, hello. She was probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something. But what if she was hurt? I tried opening the mail slot, peeked in. I thought maybe I can get a glimpse of the room inside. Miss Yoon? I felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission, but I was legitimately worried about Miss Yoon's health. So was my concern. It was clear in this one. Ah! Oh, the cat. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me, with its head tilted slightly to the side. It let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yoon was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remember his name. You're Murit, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think? Yeah, Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Or Monet. Miss Yoon talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of the cat, food hidden on the shelf in the classroom, probably because she bought too much and had no room for them in her apartment. That's saying a lot. Just put it on the ground somewhere. I don't know. Here, kitty kitty. Munnet, Munnet. Is Miss Yoon home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back. Damn, I sure hope Miss Yoon's alright. She's probably just out right now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in the speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob, and with a quick twist, I turned and pushed on the door, opening it easily. Huh? It wasn't locked? Crap, that's not good. I can't let Monik get out. Hi, your master is pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that. Monik's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway. What's that? You say? She's is? Ha, you and I are on the same page, Monik. Haha. So, here was I talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What should I do? I would just like... I mean, it's a bit like breaking and entering, I guess, but I'll just open the door, just drop it on the table and close the door. And if I had like a little notepad, I'll just write something being like, left your school note, so I had to walk in. Or if I see her, I'll say that. I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only I had peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this was where Miss Yoon lived. Alone, in other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on the errand, I couldn't help but feel like that not only I crossed the line, but I leaped over it. Miss Yoon? Tried calling out her name one last time, but as expected, there was no answer. So what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too noisy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen and beyond that there was a sliding door to the other room. I could see the light through the gaps. I strained my eyes, but there was nothing to hear, no signs of life whatsoever. Miss Yoon really must be out. One more time, I tried calling out her name one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I was even more suspicious if I stayed silent. Miss Yoon, it's Mochida. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of the door. Let's just have a little look-see, then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. This was a terrible idea. Pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening the sliding door, and peeking inside? That was just too much. Man, if Miss Yoon happened to come home and find me standing here, I'll be in pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'll be plentifully dense. Scalding water. Monet mewed as if it was ingredient. Panicking, I once again surveyed the surroundings. I almost felt like their eyes were on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there? Alright, I could just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag with some paper and pen. Miss Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just use the same notebook, some notebook paper. Let's see, Miss Yoon. Crouching in the doorway, I ran the pen across the page. I brought class notes at Miss Yamazaki's I didn't read that. I just clicked. God damn it. Everyone has been worrying about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment. Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. As I was writing the notes, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it. But now I could feel someone standing directly ahead of me, standing and looking down at me. Huh? Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen. I raised my head slowly. I saw a white, slender ankle. Slender Man! Why was there like a suspense to that? Oh no! It's actually interesting to see her in casual wear, though. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there standing before me was Miss Yoon. Ah! Miss Yoon? She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of the sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in completely disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kept educator we came to know and love. Ah, Miss Yoon, I'm so sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here, I stood up and frantically and held out the note I've been writing. But, huh? Miss Yoon was just standing there, stupefied, with a complete vacant expression on her face. Miss Yoon? I called out to her as gently as I could, but she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yoon, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I woke up and I walked up to Miss Yoon and grabbed her shoulders and tried to snap her out of her by shaking her. But instead, ah, this just seemed to make her cough. Hey, Miss Yoon! These were wet, oh, that's gross, productive coughs, and spit was shouting out of Miss Yoon's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time wasn't quick enough. Ugh. Put my hand to her cheek, and I found it was thick with a slimy film of saliva. Are you okay, Miss Yoon? Miss Yoon hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out into the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time. Miss Yoon? Wiping the splatters from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, and a stuffy nose, and visibly high fever on the top of it all. She was sick as it could be. I'm cold. Cold? But you're dripping with sweat. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then I realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. Her heart pounding a mile a minute, and her face red as a traffic light. I sat about butting her up. Miss Yoon, you know who this is, right? It's Mojita from school. If you're cold, you need to sleep under your covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absentmindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severe fevered mime. Miss Yoon? Tsukasa? What? What the fuck is happening here? This is a weird-ass shot. Tsukasa, I think is how you pronounce that. Yeah. Once again, I'm butchering these names. Like, I'm not good at them. Miss Yoon was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You've come to me, Tsukasa. Tsukasa? Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Yoon, wait. You've got the wrong person. It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as it held to me was making me violently impossible to fight against her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I never realized before just how soft a woman's. Okay, dude, you don't need. Do I really have to read this out loud? I read a lot worse, I guess. A soft woman's chest really was. God, I am a weak-willed. I had to remind myself that Miss Yoon had me confused with someone else. Mustering up all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I anticipated and wouldn't let me get away. I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared. Scared? I never thought you would actually come. I hope that picked up on the mic. As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably. Miss Yoon, please let go. No, I won't. Come on, Miss Yoon. I struggled to wiggle free, but Miss Yoon only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. And every time I swerved, Miss Yoon would just pull me in even closer. Tsukasa. Ugh. As her chest rose and fell erratically, driplets of sweat slid down into the clear cleavage. Why am I reading this, bro? I could feel the heat of the fever radiating of her steady, urging face. Dude, like, this is a horrible time. How old is Mojita? Isn't he, like, 17? Just for legal reasons, I'm just gonna say he's 18, so this is fucking weird. As well as the yeah, wait, isn't he he actually might be 18, because I think he's a senior, isn't he? He might be. I was, like, about to be 19 as soon as I graduated, so he might be safe. As well as the shoulders, I grabbed in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Tuzakaza, please. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. Questions were swirling around my head. Why was Miss Yoon crying? And who was this Tuzakaza person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. Miss Yoon, your pajamas, your pants. They're sliding down. Tuzakaza, you're so warm. Miss Yoon, please. Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed. Dude, honestly, you just gotta play it. I was like, I'll carry you to your bed and just hope she lets go of you and be like, okay, she can never know. I've taken care of Yuka any number of times when she caught a cold and drawn her a fever, but I don't recall it getting this bad. Miss Yuno was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would ever have imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated? Miss Yoon, seriously, pull yourself together. Put more strength into my resistance, and finally her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically. No, please. Miss Yoon, I'm Satoshi Mochida, not this Tuesday. Please don't go, please. Miss Yoon was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I still been wearing, I again drew closer to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her here like this. I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Groan. Miss Yoon let out I can't speak. Lethargic groan. Perhaps in response to my quiet mummerings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her to the back. Hey, I told you. That was the best strat. Gently wheeling her over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I instantly pulled up her pajama bottoms and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow and sweat. I've done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I'm a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. Miss Yoon's pajamas were soaked through the sweat. Damn! I can't really sweat. My sweat glands don't work as well. So, like, I can't ever relate to that or, like, understand that. So that's just gross. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far. I wish I could find a towel or something I could at least wipe some of the moisture away. Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed on the floor, I glanced inside. Hey, she's already bought cold packs. Why wasn't she using them? Jeez. Miss Yoon, this might be a little cold, but bear with me here, okay? Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compressors on her forehead and then pulled the covers over her. Miss Yoon appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhausted, bro, I can't read right now, Jesus. Exhausted contentedly, what the fuck am I saying? Contentedly, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Even in sleep, Miss Yoon seemed to be suffering. I'm on it. Were you worried about your master? I don't blame you. When Ms. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Mana had coiled up in her legs without me noticing. I began absently mindedly speaking to him. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed, squeezing on Miss Yoon. Or short that didn't say squeezing. Can't I just check? Squarely. Yeah, squarely, Miss Yoon. So what do I do now? Miss Yoon? Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond, but Miss Yoon? Miss Yoon's hand slipped out from under the futon and gently was grasping my pant leg. Hey! Her grip was much weaker than before, but I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yoon just seems really lonely. Well, I guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yoon's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'll watch over her and make sure her conditions didn't worsen. Groan, moan. Occasionally, Miss Yoon's breathing would become rugged as she furrowed her brow. She was in a pretty bad way. Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I noticed when I carried Miss Yoon here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all. I wonder if she's been eating anything. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was full to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food. I see someone's eating well around here. Huh. Even delirious with fever. She's still taking a real good care of you. But that's not good. Miss you, you should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a worried smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that's what was going to be your food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick. There's rice and eggs at least. Maybe I'll make some egg porridge or something. Monsieur, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half-pained, half-covered noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question. Don't think I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Monet? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? Excellent, thank you. My cries helped assured my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think anyway. I don't think anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had the nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing. Excuse me, please, monsieur. I'm going to need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each one of the fingers latched onto my pants leg. Then an expression of her face changed if I was doing so from contented rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing to indicate that she might have wake up. Alright there, then, let's see what I could do, shall we? At least, as I stood up on it, mewed happily, and began tagging along at my heels. Achoo! And Miss Yude, not resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. That was the prologue for chapter 3, I guess. Encounter. I was half expected to just cut into the school and it's just like all like destroyed and it's just like I remember that. Achoo! Yeek! Come on, Yude. I don't know these names. Gross! I just got sprayed. Sorry. I've got a real tingle in my nose today, for some reason. Oh, honestly. Tissues. Well, where did I put them? Oh, wow. Did I get that much on you? Here, use one of mine. It's the least I could do. Great, don't mind if I do. What? She was talking to me. May I have one too, please? Let's see. Here we go. Thanks! You guys really should keep extras with you, you know. Well, sorry. Honestly. So what were we talking about again? You remember, we were talking about what it's like to be a seniors now. Oh, I know, right? Can it really be just one more year before we graduate? Wait, what the hell? She's a student in this time? What? Well, graduation is important. Don't forget that there's life afterwards to think about as well. Our careers. Whoop. No, I really don't want to think about that. Well, there is a reason we've been subjugated to all these career counseling sessions, and it's because our futures is just big question marks right now. No kidding. What we're gonna do with our lives? It's scary. Any ideas, Yoon? Do you have any plans for the future? Actually, I got it all figured out. What? Well, don't leave us hanging out with it, girl. Well, wow, she looks extremely young. My name is Yoon Shishidu. I'm 17, and my dream is to be a teacher. I butt into the lives of others without a second thought, and I spend most of my time doing nothing important. But I believe that even someone like me can make her dreams come true with enough hard work. Kisagura Academy, 5 years ago. The cherry blossoms were in bloom of the rustling wind carried with its soft warmth of the season. I was a high school senior now, and I was devoted myself to the studies and preparation for the day of my dream could become reality. And that dream was to become an English teacher. My grades were on the fence of getting into the university I wanted, though. So my best bet was to score a special recommendation from the academy. Phew! That was a lucky break. When I got called to the office, I had no clue what it might be about. After school one day, I was summoned to the teacher's staff room, I was freaking out that maybe I failed or my grades weren't good enough for the school I wanted to go to, or something terrible like that. But it turned out my fears were all for naught. You have no rival in our academy, they said. So if you keep working hard, we'll be happy to give you a recommendation. Man, was that ever a pick me up? I feel like I could take on the world now. I'm going to make sure I don't let this chance slip me by. So, this trash can, why exactly is it ridiculously heavy again? Carrying this beast to the dumpster is going to be the death of me. That's a new person. Hey. Huh? I turned around, still holding the garbage can, the voice belonging to a male student I have never spoken with before. Is this the guy she was clinging on to? I've seen him around a lot, though. His name was Tatsuka. Oh my god. Maybe this was like a high school crush, but it never worked out. Tsukaza. Mikuni from class 7. Watch your step. There's a root sticking out of the ground here, and it's pretty easy to trip on. What? Ow. Hey, what's the big deal laughing at someone else's misfortune? Well, it's not funny. Shouldn't you be asking me if I'm okay or something? My bad. Oh, you don't have to help clean up. You'll get your hands dirty. Don't worry about it. It's the least I could do after laughing like that. Thanks. No prob. That should be everything, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Cool. Let's go then. Huh? I remember it well even now. This was my first time talking to Tsukaza, and he was left a strong first impression on me. That's really kind of you. Isn't it really heavy though? Nah, especially. I'm the one assigned to take it. Maybe I should. It's fine, really. There, everything is in place. Thank you so much. You were a huge help. Catch you around. Hey, hold up. I feel like I should do something nice for you in return. Don't worry about it. Thanks is plenty. Look, just wait there a second, okay? Making a new friend is always great, but when it happens to be Tsukaza Mikunu, it's all the better. He kind of been on my mind for a while. There we go. Most of the times I've seen Tsukaza before. What the fuck's happening in the background? Tsukaza before this were in the school courtyard. He spent a lot of time there sitting alone on the bench. Even after school and during summer vacations, if I happened to pass by, I would always see him in there. And after this little encounter, we'll go out to make many fond memories together. Yet somehow the image of Tsukaza that stands in my mind most is of him sitting alone on that courtyard bench. For you, I hope a cafe au latte, that's not a latte, lay it is all right. Sure, I guess. Anything's fine, really. Thanks. You know, it's customary when receiving a gift to quietly accept it without any offhanded remarks. Isn't it like to deny it 2 times and then accept it? I don't remember. Well, aren't we a stickler for tradition? Hehe. We walked to the bench together, sat down, and began making small talk. That courtyard bench was a soft as mystic sort of a mystic place. I thought I said soft. The leaves rustled over your head, and if you closed your eyes and opened your ears, it felt as though you were in the middle of some forest. And then if you looked straight up at the sunlight, it poured in through the leaves, and it almost felt like you were in another world. This is the first time I've actually sat on one of these benches. It's pretty nice, right? It is. It's lovely. Yeah, it really is. Oh, so is that why? Huh? Well, you come here awful lot, right? Like, even after school and during summer vacations. I sure do. So, you really must like this place then, huh? Yep. Or, yeah, I guess I do. Well, then, there we go. The leaves rustled as gently breeze blew between us. We were both silent for a bit, but strangely, it didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable. So, aren't you gonna ask? Ask what? What I'm always doing here by myself or something? Huh. You're always here because you like this spot, right? Well, yeah. Is there some sort of reason then? Not really. The fuck do you mean then, asshole? So what would be the point of me asking? Well, you got me there. But people normally ask me if it's boring being here by myself or tell me they don't get it. Or say I'm a weirdo or something. Really? I don't know. I guess I just don't think of it like that. The way I see it, if you like it here, then why not come here whenever you can? Guess that makes you the weirdo then. What? Hey, don't make that face. Coming from me, that's a compliment. What? Calling someone a weirdo is supposed to be a compliment? Haha, you bet it is. I'm not sure I buy that. Haha, you're mean. The expression of Tuzakaza's face was a dead giveaway that he really enjoyed talking to me. And I've always loved the feeling I get when I know my words helped brighten someone's day. I must have been sporting one hell of a goofy smile at the moment. Actually, there's a place at the school that I like even more than here. Oh, where's that? I'm not telling. What? It's my special place. Which means it must be a totally awesome place, right? Yup. Aw, I really want to see it. Come on. Heh, no way. I gotta spill the beans that easy. Besides, the view there isn't nearly as consistent. Laughing, Tizakaza finished up his drink, then grabbed the now empty trash can and carried it to the dumpster for me. You I thought I said thread. You treated me to a coffee, so please allow me to take this up to the classroom for you. What? Are you sure? You bet. Thanks. I'm in class 4, if I'm not mistaken. You're the famous Yun Shinshidu, after all. Huh? How did you... You're the girl who already looks like she could be a teacher. It's like Fairy Odd Parents. He's like, that's Mom! But everyone calls... That bus drives by, he's like, and everyone calls me Dad! If you guys don't get that, that's an old... That's a good reference. It's a very old... I think that's season 1, I think, of Fairy Odd Parents. I don't think there's a student in any of our 12 classes who doesn't know your name. What? From there on, Tuzakaza and I met in the courtyard many times. We didn't really talk in the halls, but something about that place spurred our conversations. Cafe Ayu Latte? Again? Is that actually latte or something else? Because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure my brain had spelled something else. No, it's definitely something. It's definitely like French. It's French. Cafe Lit again? Cafe Lit again? Or, I mean, I guess it's not AU, it's AU or something, but... Yep. Doesn't that get a little old? Not really. You drink at least 2 a day, though, right? Man, I drink, like, a lot of sodas, which is not good for you every single day. Not true, but... I do drink a soda-y beverage, and then I drink, like, a lot of water. Especially if I'm at work. I just drink nothing but water. Because, like, goddamn, drinking a soda at work is, like, not good for you. Especially with a lot of the physical work I do. Hey, how'd you know that? Seen it with my own eyes. There's a perfect view of the vending machines from here, after all. There is? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's right there. Oh, wow, no kidding. Doesn't it... Well, I mean, he's also staring at you. Ooh, ooh. Doesn't matter if it's after school or summer breaks. Since you do buying Cafe Oulet is like old faithful. It's like an old faithful. You could set your watch by it. Well, then I guess we're even, since I always see you sitting on this bench. What? You're back on that again? Sure I am. I guess I find it interesting that we both took notice of each other, other quirky habits. Huh. Weirdo. Our conversations in the courtyard were usually just silly. It was like talking to a good friend in a class. Shallow, but generally enjoyable. It's always so cool here, even in the summer. Ugh, don't mention summer. Why, you don't like it? Not with summer school right around the corner. That'll be enough to make anyone run for the hills. Haha, I guess so. But we're seniors now. It comes with the territory, you know? The time for fun and games is over. I don't know. You seem like you're still having a lot of fun to me. Well, I'm a bit of a special case. I'm just happy because I feel like my dreams might actually come true. Oh? I just enjoy teaching things to people and having others depend on me. Why's that? I guess it just makes me feel like a big sister or something. And since I'm an only child, you know? Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that then. Wow, that was about as dismissive as a comment as you can get. Hey, not like I could do anything about it, you know? Despite his occasional, boorish, despite, oh shit, no, I fucking, I skipped so much dialogue there by accident. Oh, I could just use the scroll wheel. Despite his boorish, or despite his occasional boorishness, I still felt that Tuzukuzo was a kind soul, nothing else. He never actually laughed at my dream. And in high school crowd, most people don't take you very seriously when you're trying to become a teacher. Tuzukuzo just wasn't like most people, I guess. God damn, I had to pause the recording for like 2 seconds because of my phone, and then immediately this happens. The season was quickly turning into autumn. After the school day ended, the seniors' floor was always more quiet than its underclassmen counterparts. Everyone was off studying hard at the library or with other tutors. I never had a tutor. They always had that in my school where there was like things for tutors. I never bothered to even get a tutor. I'm like, I'll learn this on my own. Didn't do well, but just never felt. I felt always awkward being like going to an area to be like, tutors, can you help me with this? It's like I don't know. I guess it's because I don't like. I already feel like an idiot. And I guess that's my brand, I guess. My brand is like, I'm an idiot who plays games. I'm fine with that. But like, there's a special like part of that I hate where it's like, I don't want to do this because then I just feel like a complete idiot and I feel so hopeless. I like to feel like an idiot on purpose or just actually being an idiot. But being forced into like a corner of being an idiot feels kind of like, I feel so defeated. I sat down in a lonely corner of the hallway. Initially, I had grabbed my shoes and left the classroom, intending to head home. But along the way, I just started crying. I was overwhelmed. My sobs echoed from one end of the hallway to the other. That day, I had finally received a special recommendation to my top choice university. I was so excited, I just wanted to tell someone. So I told my friend Tomo. Oh, yeah, Tomo. But her usual supportive demeanor took on a somewhat hazery edge. Quit rubbing it in my face. You know I'm still totally undecided about my future, right? Well, that's a dick friend. What an asshole. My expressions must have changed pretty drastically. Tomo's eyes suddenly widened, and she quickly apologized. So I smiled and told her I didn't care. That's what I said anyways. But how couldn't I care? Tomo's dismissive words struck me like a dagger to the chest. I'm so insensitive sometimes. I wonder if anyone else feels the same about me. I kept wiping the tears from my eyes, only for new ones to take their place immediately. Why didn't I think of this sooner? So many people were still facing uncertain futures with no real goals in mind, and I was completely oblivious to it. I was the one with a dream, running around like the cock of the walk, blabbling about my successes and aspirations. I wouldn't blame them if they hated me. Could someone that insensitive to my feelings of so many other people really become a teacher? Did I even did I ever even have it what it takes to begin with? Shinshidu? I quickly turned towards the voice that had called out to me and found that it was Tsukaza standing there. We've never said a word before when passing each other in the halls, but he spoke to me that day with no reservations, as if we were old chums. Tsukaza? Your face is a mess. Do you have a handkerchief? Yeah. Then wipe your face. He just walked off like, fuck, dude. Look like an embarrassment right here. Oh, okay. Tsukaza's concern and confusion was clearly written on his face. I didn't want to cause him any troubles or worrying him, so I began frantically wiping my eyes. Did something happen? No, everything's fine. You're crying an awfully lot for someone who's got no problems. No, it's just there was a little misunderstanding between a friend and I, but we patched it up right away, so it's all right. Really, there are some things like tears of happiness, I guess. Yep. You see, I just found out. I just got a recommend. I'm not sure if I did it out of respect for Tsukaza or just because I wanted to change the subject, but I cut myself off mid-sentence. I was doing it again. What was I thinking? Not even Tsukaza was going to hate me for being a braggart. Hell, I hated myself. I was the worst. Just the worst. But, whoa, really? See, he's a good person. He was happy for me? A bit taken aback, I nodded firmly. You did it, then. Congrats! Yeah, thanks. Thank you. So, what's with the waterworks? Ugh. Even if there are recommendations, you still have to take an entrance exam, right? Yeah. So, isn't it a little early to be crying tears of joy? Yeah, well, maybe so. I was just really happy that you congratulated me. Oh, come on now. Sorry. For what? For crying like this without even knowing why. If you don't know why you were doing it, then how about you hurry up and dry those eyes? Sure, I think I'm fine now anyways. I swear. As I rubbed my swollen eyes, a smile broke through and Tezakazu let out an exhausted sigh. Then, as if I suddenly remembered something, his eyes lit up. Oh hey, wait here a second. Okay. Tezakazu ran into the classroom, quickly reappearing in the hall again just moments later. He was holding something. Here, I want you to have this. A pencil? It's our outstretched hand resorts of short, stubby little pencils. Not the sort of thing you expect someone to go out of their way to lend you. It was pocked here and then there and small scratches, but it still seemed to be in a relatively decent shape, considering how obviously well worn it was. A pencil for graduate successes. Or guaranteed successes. Guaranteed successes? Use it on your test and you'll pass for sure. What? Really? Yep. They told me I'll never pass the entrance exam for Kisagiri Academy, but, well, here I am. And I owe it to all to make this pencil. Like, secretly the pencil has answers on it. So, this is the same pencil you were using back when you took your high school application tests? Sure is. Really, jerked out a miracle. Well, I assume you mean worked out a miracle, right? Not that that's a thing is either. Oh, yeah, that. Haha. At any rate, I should happily take you up on your kind offer. Thanks. But listen, I'm only lending it to you until you finish your test. You have to give it back afterwards so I could use it for my entrance exam. Okay. And whatever you do, don't fail the exam. Right. Because I'll be hella pissed right now. I took the pencil and nodded, smiling. This time, Tezakazu returned to my smile. You're a really unique person, you know that? It's hard to believe how much you let other people's problems get to you. You'll make an amazing teacher. What? For a moment, I had no idea what he was talking about, but then it hit me. Tezakazu had somehow snuffed out our conversation that I cried because I was upset about Tomo. And he was turning that fact around to offer me encouragement. Good luck. Don't let it get to you. Flutter. I heard you shouldn't wish someone luck in times of stress, as it adds more pressure. That's why people tell actors to break a leg instead. But I didn't care. Is that actually why? I actually never really put that together. I always, like, my brain always just, like, stupid-mindedly, not without thought, break a leg, and my brain's just like, do great. That's what my brain translated that to. I never really translated it to break a leg, guys, and just do awful. So, like, you don't get stressed out. Wow, is that really the cause? I always just thought it was just do great out there. Break a leg, that, like, as an acting. It's like, oh, make it seem like you actually broke your leg, but you didn't. I don't know. That's just how I interpreted it. But I didn't care. Taboo or no, I cherish his kind words. I'll do my best, Tezakazu. Glad to hear it. That's when I really started to fall for him. But it didn't seem like he noticed, and there wasn't really any indication that he felt the same way anyways. Nah, I feel like he likes you. But there again, it's hard to tell. I can still clearly recall the events of that day even now. It was October, the day before my entrance exam. There was weathers outside, and I had been miserable since morning. And visibly, it was all non-existent. It would have been a bad omen if I were to slip and fall on the day before the exam. So I decided I would wear boots to school, just to be safe. See you later. Huh? Oh my god, it's Nagito. When I opened the door, no one's gonna get that. When I opened the door, I was shocked to see a white-haired old woman. That's a woman? I guess it would be. I just assumed because it was long hair and it looked like a guy. It looked like a character, Nagito. I just assumed it was a guy. Shocked at my hair, lying on the ground, soaked to the bone. I frantically rushed over to her side. Are you okay? Stay with me. Come on. Tell me what's happening. Was it a hit and run? The road rushing by my house was narrow and mostly used only by our neighbors. But it's not like it was closed off to outside traffic or anything, so a hit and run wasn't out of the question. I looked over to the old woman's body as best as I could. Fortunately, there was no signs of a serious injury. This doesn't seem like a car accident, at least. Young lady. Yeah? You must not go to school today. What? You absolutely must not go. Huh? The older woman raised herself slightly and spoke hoarsely. From the tone of her voice, she seemed terribly desperate. But I have to do. Today is the last chance to practice for the college entrance interview. No, just stay home. Don't go. I have to go. The interview is part of the exam. I'm worse at. Please tell me what's wrong. Where's your family? Will you? Will I? Will you go no matter what? Yeah? In that case, please. Not knowing what to say, I nodded apprehensively. As the old woman began digging through her pockets, she produced what looked like a crumpled up scrap of paper. As she was digging around, I noticed that her breathing had become dangerously ragged and began considering in my options to assist her. Really, I should have gone back into the house and called my mom. But there was something about her that kept me glued to the spot. I sensed a desperation hiding in the unbroken gaze. You must take this. What is it? A charm. A charm? The old lady clutched my wrist and forcefully pressed the scrap of paper into my palm. Tilting my head, I unfolded the scrap and looked carefully at it. At first, I thought it was just being handed a piece of trash. What? But when I unfolded it the way, I saw that it was actually a piece of paper doll in the shape of a human being. How the fuck would you know that? And there was a name written on the torso. Yin Shinji. What the hell? Yes, my name read Played as Day and easy, legible brushstrokes. Why is my name on it? So I can protect you. Huh? If you don't write the name of the person you wish to protect, the charm won't work. Crazy. This was all crazy. I don't understand any of this, save for one simple fact. This old woman was here specifically to give me this strange paper charm. As far as I was aware, we were total strangers on one another. But she was clearly knowing both my name and my address. No. I'm sorry. I know you came a long way to give me this, but I don't want it. You don't want it? As I extended my arm to return the paper doll, I could sense her entire demeanor had changed. She raised her body, and then suddenly from the wet... I don't like the creepy sounds. Oh my god! Why not? Well... I've nearly killed myself bringing this to you. Why will no one listen to me? You must not enter Heavenly Host Elementary without using this charm. Heavenly Host Elementary? Yes, you must not go. Don't go. As the old woman cried out, the paper doll fluttered lightly to the ground. Almost instantaneously, it became soaked through the rainwater. My name began to run quickly through and turned into illegible black smudges. Seeing this, the old woman grabbed and tore at her hair. No, the time! The land is lost! Ma'am, please calm down. Listen, you must not go to Heavenly Host Elementary. I think there's been a mistake. The school is Kasagiri Academy High. Oh, my school is Kasagiri Academy High. I've never even heard of Heavenly Host Elementary. Eek! Ma'am? Oh, God. Mom, come quickly. What's wrong? An old lady collapsed in front of the house. Call an ambulance. Oh, okay. The old lady trick again. Paramedics arrive in the matter of minutes. The old woman seemed to be unconscious by that point. However, so the EMTs brought out the stretcher. Did either of you know this woman? No, she just collapsed onto the floor of her house. We've never seen her before. All right. Would you like to be willingly ride with her in the ambulance? The idea of making this old woman go to the hospital by herself just seemed like it would have been a shameful thing to do. Sure, this was a stranger, but we had a lengthy conversation mere minutes before, so I couldn't very well say we had nothing to do with one another. You need to go to school. What? But don't worry, I'll go with her to the hospital. You have to practice for the interview today, right? Yeah, I guess I do. Thanks, Mom. I'll leave here with you then. Good luck. I was a little hesitant, but I knew I really had to go to school today, no matter what. So I left the strange woman in my mom's care and headed towards school, walked by the stretcher. Yeah! Suddenly, a hand rose from the limp form form of the old woman and grabbed my shirt. Startled, I tried to jump away, but I found myself entering by her terrible bloodshot eyes. God damn it, I came back and I clicked immediately to click in the game. Startled, I tried to jump away from her. I found myself entered by her terrible bloodshot eyes. You must not go! Ah! Okay, you know what? There we go. We're gonna save here because it's been an hour. This is all reading, apparently. There's only, like, choices, and then there's no, like, walking, apparently, from what the walkthrough said that I used to help me sometimes. It literally said chapter 3, and it just had choices. There's nothing about, like, walking. This is the only chapter that does that. So, I gotta kind of do that, like, the cut in the middle of reading, because there's definitely not gonna be a quiet moment. So, yeah. Very interesting. I like the flashbackiness of this. I like how it's just talking about the teacher and the like. Once again, it's like chapter 1 where it's like giving you a little exposition. I'm not sure how useful it's gonna be for the character wise, because I was like, wow, I know this. It's like, how's this gonna play? Really, I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.